Good afternoon, I'm here at Pub in the Park. I've been at this festival for 6 years now, since they very first put on the fire pit. Kamado Joe, one of the sponsors, and Ben has asked me if I would do this year. It's a new thing, super exclusive. I don't even know who I'm cooking for. 10 people only are going to get a 3-course meal from me. I know what I'm cooking, but I don't know who I'm cooking for. They've set up this little dining area just around the corner there, so I've got basically half an hour to feed 10 people, and then we're turning it over again, so should be interesting. Just got here, I'm having a quick beer, and then we're going to go get on the prep and feed some people, and then we're going to get stuck into the festival. So this week, that's what you're going to get to watch. Enjoy. So I'm just going to go and check out this space that we're going to be cooking in tonight. Had a little peep on the way in when we drove past, but I have not properly scoped it out. They've made a nice little exclusive space up here, so let's go and check it out. Right then, show me to my kitchen, baby. How are we doing? It's looking good, isn't it? They get goodie bags and that as well. Oh, happy days. Right then, getting ready for this meal. So we're going to start out with these outside brown pork belly bites, which is a dish that comes from North Carolina, and basically it means that the pork was cut up into smaller pieces so that you get a lot of this bark on the outside. So I've already pre-smoked these. I haven't been here for long enough to cook pork belly from scratch, but it means that when we put them back on again, they're going to regenerate. They're going to be amazing. They're going to be served straight off of the little Kamado Joe Jr. just as people arrive, so they'll be able to pick those up, sort of, I say a mouthful, it's going to be a hell of a mouthful that, but a couple of nibbles on a stick. Then we're going to do a kebab. So over here, we've got these beautiful hogget legs, which I've marinated in lots of tasty stuff and then vac packed overnight. So the vac kind of does the brining. It pulls all the, I find that vac packing it really kind of intensifies the flavour. So those are going to be super nice. And they open up, they look like a whole leg now, but I've actually butterflied them open before I came here, and we're going to cook them directly like a massive steak over here. So you get crispy, gnarly bits, some sort of pink bits. It's going to be beautiful. Slice those up. Got beautiful flatbreads we're going to make. I made some bigger sort of pizza dough, which we're going to also cook on these grills. Then we've got like a pimp mint sauce that's going to go on there. We've got some smoked feta, which we're going to put on. Some grilled green chilies, these amazing chilies. I've got fairly hot, grill these and slice those up on the top. Some wild garlic mayonnaise. That should be great, shouldn't it? I mean, like, it's a kebab, it's Friday night. If they don't like that, then there's something wrong with them. And then to finish, we're going to do our smoked banana rum sponge, which is a classic dish that we do quite a lot at Embers, using my own rum, of course. Lots and lots of sort of sweet stickiness. And yeah, hopefully that will go down. Also some charcoal cream as well. So I infused some cream with lit charcoal, strained that off. Did that yesterday because I didn't really want to be doing that here. There's obviously minimal kind of things to use here, so getting the prep done ahead was key. Which means also I can just enjoy it, knock out. We're going to do 2 sit-ins in an hour, which is nuts. 30 minutes and then 30 minutes. So I've got to be prepared, because if you're not, people are going to be waiting. People are waiting. They're stuff. So yeah, we're ready for them. Love it. Can't wait. Cooking to a small group in an intimate setting like this is perfect for me. I don't get to do it very often these days, so I really, really enjoyed it. Not only can I really showcase something interesting to these guys, but it also means I can get amongst them, I can serve them, I can talk to them. I'm very social. It's what put me off becoming a chef to begin with, but fire cooking has always allowed me to get out there amongst my guests and talk to them, and I just love it. Oh, sorry if I've completely written you off for any more eating tonight. There's probably quite a bit of food there, wasn't there?
Not at all.
No? All good?
Yep.
Excellent. Good stuff. Would anybody like to try any of my rum? Like, I've got 3 different ones, so just to give you a quick sort of spin through. So the white one is basically, this is what comes off the still at about 90%. We take it back to 41, and then we age it in plastic, because the plastic means that it gets no colour. All the colour that you see is purely from wood barrels on the others. So it's aged for about 6 months and then filtered through the charcoal. We actually make our own charcoal at our restaurant, and it's filtered through the charcoal during the distillation process, which means it's gone really. If you like tequila, if you like good tequila, it's kind of got tequila vibes. Yeah. Oh, then hopefully you'll like this then. Does everybody want to have a little go? Yeah. All right. Cool. So that's this one. Shall I just pass the bottle down and you can have as much as you like? Does that work? It's dangerous. I'll go. If you want any more, just let me know. And then, so the golden one we call Cherrywood Evolution. So basically, when the same rum comes off the still, it goes into an oak barrel for a year. But then when we bottle it, it actually has we put a cherry stave in the bottle, because it's my favourite wood to smoke with. So we char the cherry stave and put that into the bottle. And then, so the longer you have the bottle, the more the cherry tannins come through. And it kind of gives you a little sort of, I always describe it as a bit of Dr. Pepper kind of aftertone on the back of your tongue. None of them are too sweet. I hate really sweet rum, so it's not like any artificial flavourings or anything like that. It just comes from the wood. And then obviously I've got a spice one, which is quite unusual spices. So we've got fennel, cardamom, black pepper, star anise, allspice, a little bit of cinnamon, and a little bit of vanilla. But again, not over sweet. You know, I think people drinking white rum straight, so normally when there's been a crisis on EastEnders or something. But it's actually all right. It's quite palatable, I think. Neat. Yeah. If anyone wants to try the spiced as well, you know, I know this is very turbo. I'm sorry about that. If I had you all evening, we'd take our time. This is ridiculously fast-paced. One down, one to go. Sorry, man. I'm just
you're fine. Thank you very much.
Lovely. Thank you. Appreciate it. Enjoyed it.
Thank you very much, mate.
It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, man. Take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man.
Honestly, thank you, man.
Much of a pleasure.
Much appreciated. Thanks for coming. Thank you so much for coming. It was a real honour to be asked by Kamado Joe to do this dinner, because some of the chefs that are coming on after me are people I look up to and think are amazing. You've got James Cotran, who won Great British Menu a few years ago, Melissa Thompson, one of my favourite Caribbean chefs, and also Thuy Pham, who does some of the most insane Vietnamese food that I've ever tasted in my life. Putting me amongst these guys really is a great honour, and I'm so pleased that they asked me to do it. That was pretty intense. In the second sitting now, just gone 8:30, so I've done 2 rounds of people in an hour and a half. But they were loving it. It's all gone really, really well. Bread was amazing, which I'm really happy about because I hadn't made it before. And certainly not on a Kamado, and certainly not all sort of the white flour that I've used this time. I had a little go with it last week, making some wholemeal because I ran out of white, but yeah, really, really happy. Dessert's in here, if you want to check it out. Yes, mate, look at that. That's ready to turn out as we speak. So, cannot complain. I'm pretty happy. I'm going to go and watch Craig David in a little bit. Maybe go and see the guys in the Pimenta Bar, DJ Willie G. He's amazing. He's here every year. And yeah, I'm pretty much chill. I've just got the dessert to go and I am done for the night. Happy days. Hopefully, with a little bit of luck, we have... Oh, hold on. A banana rum sponge. Just hit that with some of this spice rum. Just let it soak in for 5-10 minutes just while you finish off your mains. And then we're going to serve that with the charcoal cream. As I say, we make our own charcoal at our restaurant in Ironbridge in Shropshire. So we know it's super clean. There's no chemicals or anything on it. And we drop that into the cream. It infuses in the cream as we turn it off. As we let it cool down. 20 minutes, strain it off, and then it's literally just that whipped and nothing else. So it's literally wood and cream, 2 ingredients that go alongside it. So as soon as you finish there, we'll get that out to you. So it's been great working with KJ over the years, Kamado Joe. You know, they've looked after me throughout opening my restaurant. In the early days of running cooking classes at places like the 100 House, they just sent me grills there to work with. So to be invited to come and do this is a real honour. And yeah, it's been great fun. And it's nice because, I'm really familiar with these grills, so it's been dead easy to churn out some tasty food and really sort of showcase what these grills can do, because I do believe they are the best ceramic grills that you can get and what I enjoy cooking on the most. So yeah, perfect gig for me, definitely not complaining. Can't wait to get stuck in there now. Let's have it. After my second session, obviously there was nothing more to follow, so I had a little bit more time to talk to the guests, who were really, really interested in not only the Kamado Joes, but also how I'd made my bread, a little bit about my story. I found out a little bit about them, and it was just a really nice ending to the second sitting. I'm no stranger to Pub in the Park. This was my 6th year, so I hung out for the whole of the rest of the weekend. I did 2 demos on the Saturday on the fire stage and helped out with the KJ guys all weekend, selling the grills, cooking up good food, chatting to the guests, and generally having a great time. I can't wait to come back next year. It's always a favourite one on my calendar because the staff and the regulars have become like family to me. So you'll see me there next year if you want to come along. If you've enjoyed watching, please like and subscribe, drop us a comment, and come along next week to see what we do next.